Okay, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you square roots of variable expressions. Okay, so let's say I want to simplify this variable expression, 144 times x squared, and I want to find the square root of that. Okay, so it's pretty easy. What we're going to do is we're going to separate this coefficient with this exponent. So this is also equal to the square root of 144 times the square root of x to the second. Okay, so the square root of 144, that's easy, that's 12. And then the square root of x to the second is x. Okay, so here you go, it's 12x. Okay. Now let's move on to finding the square root of 25 times n to the 8th power. Okay, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to separate it again. This is going to be the square root of 25 times the square root of n to the 8th power. Now, one way we can do this, one way we can I guess, simplify this is taking this n to the 8th, and n to the 8th is actually equal to n to a certain power to the second power, or squared, because remember, we're ultimately going to want to find the square root of that. So we have to think what exponent goes in here. So 2 times what will give us n to the 8th. Now remember, it'll be the 4th because 4 times 2 gives us 8. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down this square root of 25, okay, and the square root of 25 is 5. And then obviously the square root of n to the 4th to the second is n to the 4th. Okay, so our answer would be 5n to the 4th in that case. Okay, now let's move on to the next problem. Okay, now we're going to find the square root of 12a to the 3rd. Okay, and okay, so let's go ahead and break this up. Okay, so this is like finding the square root of 12 times the square root of a to the 3rd. Now, a to the 3rd, now 3 is not divisible by 2. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to separate this so it looks like this. Square root of a to the second times a to the what power? Now remember, when you have the same base, you're adding the exponents. So 2 plus what will give us 3? So 2 plus 1. So it's like a to the 1st. We don't really need to write that down though. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down this square root of 12. Okay. And then we're going to go a step further. Okay, because 12 is not a perfect square, but I can find 2 factors where one of them is a perfect square. Okay, so 4 is a perfect square, so 4 times what will give us 12? Well, 4 times 3. Okay, done with that. Now let's move on to this. Now remember, this we can break it up, and it looks like this: square root of a to the second, right, times the square root of a. Okay, now I can simplify this even more. Okay, so square root of 4 is equal to 2. Now we don't know the square root of 3. We could use a calculator, we'll get a decimal, but we don't want a decimal. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring this down. Okay, so far we have 2 times square root of 3. And the square root of a to the second, well, that's easy, that's a. Okay, and then bring down the square root of a. Now, just by looking at it, we can arrange this so it looks a little bit more organized. Okay, now we can multiply these guys, the coefficients. So we've got 2a, so 2a, and then we can multiply these together. So we have 3 times a, which is 3a, but they're underneath that radical sign, so we're going to include that. Okay, so there's our answer. Okay, Last problem. Okay, let's say we want to simplify simplify finding the square root of m to the second minus 8m plus 16. Okay, and just by looking at this trinomial, we know we can factor this, and we can factor it by using what I like to call reverse FOIL. Okay, here's our pattern. You know, m goes here. Now we just have to figure out what signs we're going to have. Are they going to be both plus signs or both minus signs? Because remember, that's positive. But we can tell by looking at b, okay, the coefficient of b. So that's -8, and it's a negative, so these are both going to be negative. Okay, so we have to find two integers. When we multiply them, we get 16, but if we add them, we get -8. Okay, so in this case, it would be -4, -4. Okay, now we want to find the square root of that. Well, when you look at this, m minus 4 times m minus 4, that really is just m minus 4 to the second power. Okay, so we want to find the square root of that. And since we have that 2 as an exponent, we know that the square root of this, it really is just m minus 4.